in your work as a director, I have the feeling that you have thought about every angles, details, how it can be seen from different part of the from the stage and from the public. But on the other hand, on this particular piece, this artwork, there's many layers. It's not as sharp as what you can do or what you do on stage. Is that one reason why you like this one?
My work in the theater, it's very formal. It's very precise, as you said. What I give to the performer is a very strict form, and it's very rigid. I never in 50-something years working with the theater have ever talked to an actor or a singer about meaning, or what does something mean. But they're given a vocabulary of movement, a way of standing, a way of placing the eyes in the back of the head or in front of the head, how to change space. And I leave it at that. So you learn a form, and the form is boring. It's how you fill in the form. That's what's most important. So here we have a work that had a rather strict form, and then he let it go, and so it had has a kind of freedom. That's what's most important in the work, is I can show a singer how to do something, but they'll never be able to do what I do or feel what I feel. So you have to step back and let them find it for themselves. And the work, I don't know so much about this work, but it looks to me like that's what's happened, that he's made something rather strict, and then he gave it to nature. And so nature then took over. And it's unpredictable. That's the beauty of the work. I think what's interesting about a fair like this is I see this exhibition, and I am now looking across the corridor, and I see a Baroque clock. And next door I see something else that's completely different. But if I take the Baroque clock off of the Baroque commode and I put a computer on it, that's something different. And maybe it's easier to see the computer on top of the Baroque commode than it is to see the Baroque clock on it. So counterpoint is not just any counterpoint, but counterpoint is one way that helps us to hear and to see better. And maybe that's the sharpness you're talking about, and you find in my work, that I work very often with counterpoint.
You like to make sculptures with space and light, is that right?
Light is the most essential element. I studied architecture, and I was very fortunate. My first week in school, architecture school, I heard Louis Kahn speak. And he said, students, start with light. From that moment on, my life was changed.
You have really this kind of appetite for building space. Where does it come from?
Texas. I think the landscape of Texas is in all my work. I was born and I grew up in Waco, Texas, a small town in central Texas. But I think that landscape is in all my work.
That's why you like this painting?
Yeah, I like the space.
Bob Wilson, thank you very much.
Thank you.